we're visiting the top 10 countries that are considered the least welcoming to immigrants. All right, let's get started. Number 1, Japan. A country that beautifully blends the ancient with the ultra-modern. Known for its incredible technology, delicious food, and rich culture, Japan is a place where you can experience the future and the past in a single day. But it's also known for having some of the strictest immigration policies in the world. Getting a visa to live or work here is no easy feat. Japan has a very homogeneous population and a low birth rate, so they're worried about their workforce shrinking. The aging population is a significant concern, with more elderly people than ever before. Instead of opening the doors to immigrants, they're trying to encourage more Japanese people to have babies. Government campaigns and incentives are in place to boost the birth rate. Navigating the visa process in Japan can be like trying to solve a Rubik's Cube blindfolded. It's complicated, and there's a lot of paperwork. Many potential immigrants find the process daunting and discouraging. Japan is slowly starting to realize that they might need to loosen up a bit. Discussions are ongoing about how to balance the need for a larger workforce with the desire to maintain cultural homogeneity. They're starting to offer more work visas, especially in fields where they're facing labor shortages. This is a significant shift for a country that has long been resistant to large-scale immigration. To help integrate foreign workers, Japan is also investing in language and cultural training programs. These initiatives aim to make the transition smoother for newcomers and help them feel more at home. While change is slow, there's hope that Japan will become a more welcoming place for people from all over the world, blending its rich traditions with a more diverse future. Number 2, Hungary. A beautiful country with a rich history and stunning architecture, but it's also been making headlines for its stance on immigration. The government's worried about preserving their national identity and culture, and they've even built a fence along their border to keep immigrants out. It's like saying, "Welcome to Hungary, but please admire our culture from a distance." And it's not just physical barriers, there are legal ones too. But there are amazing organizations and individuals in Hungary who are fighting for the rights of immigrants and refugees. They're providing legal aid, language classes, and just a helping hand to those who need it most. Number 3, Greece. The land of ancient ruins, delicious food, and unfortunately some pretty tough times for immigrants. Greece has been hit hard by economic woes in recent years, and that's led to some complicated feelings about immigrants. Some people in Greece feel like immigrants are taking jobs and resources away from them. Sadly, this fear has led to some pretty ugly incidents of discrimination and even violence against immigrants. But there are amazing organizations and individuals in Greece who are working tirelessly to help immigrants integrate into society. They're providing language classes, job training, and, most importantly, a sense of community. Number 4, Russia. A vast and fascinating country with a rich history and culture. But when it comes to immigration, things can be a bit chilly. Russia has a long history of being wary of outsiders. They're worried about national security, and they've got some pretty strict visa requirements. Plus, there's been a rise in nationalism in recent years, which hasn't exactly made things easier for immigrants. But there are pockets of Russia where immigrants are welcomed with open arms. And there are organizations working hard to promote tolerance and understanding between Russians and newcomers. Number 5, Singapore. This bustling city-state is a fascinating blend of cultures, traditions, and modernity. It's a place where the old meets the new in the most spectacular ways. Known for its cleanliness, efficiency, and being a little bit strict. The streets are spotless, the public transportation runs like clockwork, and there are rules for just about everything. And that strictness extends to their immigration policies. Singapore has some of the toughest immigration laws in the world, making it quite challenging for many to call this place home. Singapore is a small country with a high population density. With limited space and resources, the government has to be very careful about who they allow to settle here. They're worried about overcrowding and straining their resources, so they're very selective about who they let in. The focus is on maintaining a high quality of life for its citizens. Plus, Singapore has a very specific idea of what it takes to be Singaporean. They place a strong emphasis on cultural integration and social harmony. But Singapore does recognize that they need skilled workers. so they've got some pretty attractive visa options for highly qualified professionals. The country is always on the lookout for talent that can contribute to its economy. So, if you're a brain surgeon who can also code in 5 different languages, Singapore might just roll out the red carpet for you. It's a land of opportunity for those who have the right skills and qualifications. Number 6. We're heading down under to Australia. Known for its stunning beaches, laid-back lifestyle, and its love of paperwork. Australia has some of the strictest visa requirements in the world. They're worried about protecting their job market and social welfare system, so they make it pretty tough for immigrants to get a leg up. Plus, Australia has a points-based immigration system, which means you get points for things like your age, education, and work experience. But Australia does have a history of welcoming refugees, and there are programs in place to help immigrants settle in. So, if you're determined to make Australia your home, don't give up. Just be prepared for a bit of a bureaucratic adventure. Number 7. We're off to Italy, the land of pasta, pizza, and unfortunately, some rising anti-immigrant sentiment. Italy has been on the front lines of the refugee crisis in Europe, and that's led to some mixed feelings about immigration. Some Italians feel like their culture and way of life are under threat from the influx of immigrants. Sadly, this fear has led to a rise in xenophobia and discrimination against immigrants. But there are countless Italians who are fighting for the rights of immigrants and refugees. They're providing food, shelter, legal aid, and, most importantly, compassion. Number 8. We're hopping over to South Korea, the land of K-pop, K-dramas, and some pretty strong cultural barriers. South Korea is a very homogeneous country, and they're very proud of their heritage. One of the biggest challenges for immigrants in South Korea is the language barrier. Plus, South Korea has a strong work ethic and a hierarchical society, which can be tough for immigrants to adjust to. But South Korea is slowly starting to recognize the value of diversity, and they're making efforts to attract more skilled workers from overseas. Number 9. United States. This country, often referred to as the land of opportunity, has a rich history of welcoming people from all corners of the world. America has always prided itself on being a nation of immigrants, a beacon of hope for those seeking a better life. The Statue of Liberty stands tall, symbolizing freedom and democracy, a melting pot of cultures, where diverse traditions and customs blend to create a vibrant society. From cultural festivals to community gatherings, the spirit of unity is celebrated. But in recent years, the welcome mat has seemed a little worn out, don't you think? The once warm embrace has turned cold for many seeking refuge. The U.S. has been grappling with some pretty divisive debates about immigration. These debates have sparked protests and movements advocating for immigrant rights. Sadly, this fear has led to some pretty harsh policies, like the construction of border walls and increased patrols. These measures have created a climate of fear and uncertainty. One of the most heart-wrenching outcomes has been the separation of families at the border. Children torn from their parents, creating a humanitarian crisis, and making it harder for asylum seekers to find refuge. Many are left waiting in crowded and often unsafe conditions, their dreams of safety and a new life put on hold. But America is also a land of hope and resilience. Despite the challenges, the spirit of compassion and solidarity shines through. There are countless individuals and organizations fighting for the rights of immigrants and refugees. They're providing legal aid, sanctuary, and a voice for the voiceless, and a whole lot of love and support. From reuniting families to offering food and shelter, these acts of kindness remind us of the true American spirit. Number 10. Spain. This vibrant country is known for its beautiful beaches, delicious tapas, and its recent economic struggles. Spain was hit hard by the global recession, and unemployment rates soared. And when times get tough, sometimes people start looking for someone to blame. Sadly, in Spain, some of that blame has been directed at immigrants. But Spain is also a country with a big heart. There are plenty of Spaniards who are fighting for the rights of immigrants and refugees. They're providing language classes, job training, and a shoulder to cry on. Well, there you have it. The top 10 countries that are considered the least welcoming to immigrants. We've seen the struggles, the challenges, and the discrimination that immigrants face around the world. But we've also seen the hope, the resilience, and the incredible acts of kindness from those who are fighting for a more inclusive world. Like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Until next time, be kind to one another.